Thank you so much for the kind introduction, Aditi. So the case today will be a traumatic wound dehiscence after full thickness penetrating keratoplasty. So I have no financial interest to disclose. So before the video, just a brief background about the case. The patient is a 32-year-old female who had a history of both eye macular dystrophy. She underwent both eye optical PK by my colleague. She developed secondary glaucoma in both the eyes, which was quite advanced. In one eye, she went TRAB and followed by phaco. In the other eye, she went a simultaneous phaco-TRAB procedure. And then she presented to the OPD in which she had a trauma to the right eye, either by a protruding stick or a pipe in the early hours of the morning when the light is low. So she was not very sure because she has tunnel vision. So with that, I will move on to the case. So the challenges were basically an extensive dehiscence, lots of hypotony, maybe a vitreous loss, which was not clear on the slit lamp examination. The IOL was a bit decentered. Also taking care of the bleb during the surgery, the advanced glaucoma in both the eyes, and the nature of the anesthesia. So taking all of this into consideration, I decided to just administer a facial block and do the surgery under topical anesthesia itself to prevent further worsening of the situation. So as you can see, the patient is under topical, so the eye is not perfectly well centered. So by gentle coaxing and sometimes a little bit of shouting, I was able to get the eye into position for the suturing. So the key points here are not to allow much of the anterior chamber to collapse more than it already has. So again, making a side port in this scenario is difficult. So it's better to put a few sutures in place first. Yeah, now after putting sutures, I put some triamcinolone into the anterior chamber to just check if there is any vitreous, after which I performed a very limited anterior vitrectomy just to get out those few strands of vitreous. So the IOL is pretty much okay in position, slight decentration, but the key is not to meddle around too much or go well beyond or below the iris plane. Try to keep it superficial, just get the tags out. The bleb was ischemic, as you can see towards the end, but there was no active leak from that. So I decided not to bother with it and leave it to my more senior and more well-versed glaucoma colleagues to take care of it at a later date if needed. So the vitrectomy is done. Yeah, so again, you deepen the anterior chamber. Just verify the IOL is all right at the conclusion. Another key tip, as you can see, that ischemic area is where the bleb was done. The key point towards forming the anterior chamber is at the end is not to forget your side port incision. Even if it is, you can hydrate and seal it. In such cases where there is some amount of vitreous loss and it's a grafted eye, it's always better to put a single suture. It works wonders and the anterior chamber forms much better and you don't have post-operative hypotony, so to say. And it's always prudent at the end of any intraocular surgery to inject a bit of moxifloxacin into the anterior chamber, which I did. Make sure you bury all the sutures so that there is no post-op irritation or infection. So that's the conclusion of the surgery. So this was at post-operative day 1, in which the case was seen by my vitreoretinal colleagues as well as the glaucoma colleagues. So the anterior chamber is well formed. You can see some form of striate keratopathy, which is expected, but with a good post-operative steroid regimen, this can be brought down. The ischemic bleb is present, which was later taken care of by my glaucoma colleagues. So this is at post-operative day 29, and the patient.
Sorry to interrupt you, but we have limited time for each presentation, so I request you to please wind it up.
Yeah, this is done. Yeah, so this is the post-operative picture at day 1 month, and the patient did regain a vision of around 612 with pinhole. Thank you so much.
Excellent presentation, Dr. Aditya. Wonderful surgery. May I now invite Janshu sir for the panel discussion?
Yeah, thanks, Aditi, and beautiful talk. Aditya had done a wonderful surgery, and I would really congratulate him because of the capacity to take this under topical anesthesia and a facial block. Probably this injury was manageable, because it's very difficult to do a corneal tear with the risk of IOL prolapse and doing a vitrectomy and doing so many steps in under topical. It's a bit of a risk. We would prefer in such situations to have a general anesthesia ready for handling this sort of cases. This is the first thing we have to keep in mind. Regarding the surgery, it's basically a corneal tear which he showed so well, plus the sutures, and in the end he had a very good visual outcome. But not always we are lucky that way, because we may have a lot of hydrodialysis and we end up with a lot of hypema, and there is a high risk of secondary glaucoma in the post-operative period, not just immediate, but in the long run also, which is one of the factors for loss of vision in these patients, not to mention the high risk of graft failure and the chances of end of or infections in this situation. I think it's beautifully done. And one important thing that he has shown is definitely if we are making any opening in these situations, additional openings, putting a suture and securing that is one of the most important things, because it helps us a lot in preventing infections or in certain other steps, in certain other events in the post-operative period. I think that's a lovely presentation.
Thank you so much, Janshu sir, for your lovely words of wisdom. Sneha, with your permission, can I ask few of my doubts since it's cornea session?
Sure, absolutely, Aditi.
Thank you, Sneha. Dr. Aditya, what is the intracameral antibiotic percentage that you're using in such cases? So even Janshu sir, you can also add on this.
Using the one which we use in the cataract surgery, that is the commercially available moxifloxacin. So no brand preferences, as long as it is preservative free. That is 0.1 cc of that given directly into the anti-itching.
Perfect. And the post-op regimen,
yeah, for this I was a bit more aggressive because with all her past history of phacotrab and with that eye being so traumatized, and she was thankfully not a diabetic, so along with a short course of oral steroids, I put her on intensive topical prednisolone as well, along with the usual anti-glaucoma medications which she was carrying before in both the eyes.
Thank you so much. Janshu sir, one question for you. So as you rightly said, so the principle for all such cases will be like primary tear repair. So what we used to do in SN was that we used to do the repair, and then we used to tell them that the secondary, like the any vitreal involvement or IOL involvement, will be dealt with in the later stages. So once the globe is intact, a very gentle and sterile ultrasound used to be done post-op after the dehiscence has been closed up, and after that we used to take up for further surgeries if required. So any difference in opinion?
Not true, Aditi. It depends upon the severity of the trauma. So if you do not have a lot of IOL destabilization, if this IOL haptic would have been at the wound, half out of the eye, definitely we wouldn't be doing much. We would be just doing a toilet vitrectomy and taking the IOL out and put the graft in place. Because see, the primary goal in these situations is probably saving the graft and then going for the visual rehab in the long run. So obviously it will become a two-step procedure in certain situations. It varies from case to case. So you cannot put in straight away that every case we will do this. We must have that freedom of taking the decision and doing just what is needed to close the eye, because primary closure is the most important thing at this point of time.
Thank you so much, Anshu sir. Thank you so much. And taking time, sir is operating and still he joined us. Thanks a lot. Thank you, Dr. Aditya. Radhakrishnan sir, if you are here, can we have one line from you regarding the session? I think sir is not there. So I think sir is not there. Sneha, thank you so much, Dr. Aditya. Thank you, Jayanshu.